A little this way, a little that way. Yep.
We're back at the dyno, and as promised from the last time, I said the next time this car is on the dyno, it will have a turbocharger. It will have a turbocharger. And for those of you who are new to this channel, this is my 99 Miata that I've swapped a 2008 CBR 1000RR engine and transmission into. I finished the swap last year and ran an NA for the entire season and ended up making about 160 horsepower at that NA level. Since then, I have installed a Garrett turbocharger, a large front mount intercooler, and a piggyback ECU software, which allows me to tune the car. So let's see what it can do today with the turbocharger. We do have an internally wastegated turbo here, and I have about a 4 or 5 pound spring in the wastegate actuator. This 4 pound spring will allow me to turn up the boost if needed. I'm really hoping to see 200 wheel horsepower today. This car weighs about 1,550 pounds, so if I could make 200 wheel horsepower, it'd make it a pretty quick little street car. So I have a wideband O2 sensor that is going to feed the Mustang dyno the real-time air-fuel ratio, and I also have a back pressure port hooked up. I'm pretty curious to see the back pressure on this setup. It is a fairly low boost level at around 4 or 5 psi, but I'm actually thinking I could have went a little larger on the turbine side of this turbo. So this back pressure reading should tell me that. So the next thing I'm going to do is fire the car up, get it up to temp, and then we're going to do the RPM calibration for the dyno, and then make some rips. 2001 back. The stock injector open 50% longer. That's all it is. That's simple.
That's pretty cool. I mean,
but I got
archaic, but like
RPM, MAP, and AFR. Like, what else do you need?
Yeah. And you can adjust timing with this too?
Yeah.
What do you run at what?
Well, I don't know. I can only retard timing.
Oh.
So here's my ignition table. If I put a -1 in there, yep, it'll pull a degree.
So whatever runs from the factory.
Yeah, I'm not pulling any timing because I'm at such low boost.
Yeah.
Oh, don't forget I have internal data logging. Or sorry, PC logging. Oh. No internal. All right, so after the first pull, looks like we made 197.8 horsepower at about 11,500. I'll have to check my data log, but that should be around 4 to 5 psi of boost pressure. Exhaust back pressure is looking kind of high, roughly 2 to 1. I really was hoping for a little less than that, but I do think this turbine housing is probably just a little small. As far as torque, peak torque, we made it around 9,000 RPM, 100 foot-pounds. So I passed the 100 foot-pound barrier. I get a lot of crap from people that it doesn't make any torque, so there we go, 100 foot-pounds. So here's the deal. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I really want to see 200 wheel horsepower. So what I think I'm going to do is put a little bit more preload in that gate, let it cool off for a second, and try to make one glory rip for that 200 wheel horsepower.
Yeah, I know, and it just keeps going.
Like that's gotta be 80 billion RPM.
And they're like 11.
All right, well, I think another turn of preload will do it. Need some of the fog in the nitrous. We got bottle on top.
And we got a leaf blower over there. I can just.
Yeah. 200 wheels sick, dude.
We didn't make 200.
It's close. It will this time.
Watch, it's hotter now. Oh, we don't have the fan on.
Oh.
You probably would have made 200 right there.
It'll make more now.
Can you log IAT2s?
Oh, spicy.
We got gloves if you need them. You don't need no gloves. He's a man.
Then welder, hey.
He's a fabricator.
So, I did add a little preload to the turbo. Should give it maybe another half or 1 pound of boost. But I also just realized we didn't have our fan on, which would help with IATs. It probably would have made 200 at 4 pounds, but it is what it is. Let's give it another shot.
Sounds like you should just turn it to 38.
All right.
He doesn't need 20.
Let me turn this down on high, medium, or low.
Hi.
It really only it literally made it on the dot.
200 on the dot.
All right, it looks like I hit my goal of 200 wheel horsepower. So I made it the exact same spot, about 11.6, 11.8. As you can see, 200.03 HP. Back pressure, definitely getting up there. Like I said, about 2 to 1, not ideal. Big torque monster, 104 foot-pounds. But all jokes aside, that torque curve for a 1 liter engine, starting around 7K to 10, this window here is actually pretty juicy compared to the NA setup. Can we lay the NA setup over it? This is the old NA pull that I have the new pull overlaid. The previous pull right here, 160 horsepower. So like I said, it picked up exactly 40 wheel horsepower. Torque curve is just bigger everywhere. So the NA torque level was 80 foot-pounds, and we just made 104 foot-pounds. So overall, 25 foot-pounds gained and 40 wheel horsepower. I think I'm going to leave it where it is. I could turn up the boost pressure pretty easily with like a manual boost controller or something, but I'm really happy with how the car feels on the street. It feels pretty fast. Like I said, 200 wheel horsepower in a 1,500 pound car with an aggressive final drive ratio is pretty fun. Thanks for watching. I just wanted to add this into the end of the video. After looking at the data log on my computer of this last pull that made the 200 horsepower, I actually didn't see a boost increase on that pull. I think it made the 3 more horsepower just because the fan being on, making the IATs a little cooler. I think what's going on here, if you can see this purple line here, this is exhaust back pressure. The entire pull was about 4 pounds of boost, and already in here around peak torque, I'm already at about 8 psi of back pressure, which is 2 to 1. And that just continued to climb through here, as you can see that purple line, all the way up to almost 10 psi of back pressure. After taking some time to really analyze this, I think I can get more horsepower per pound of boost if I put a bigger turbine housing on my turbo and drop that back pressure. So it should help this yellow torque curve stay a little higher, not dip right in here, and maybe carry the horsepower out a little longer before it falls off. I think that's going to be my next video, is putting a little bit bigger of a turbine housing on and coming back and seeing what it'll do at the same boost level, but with a lot less back pressure.